Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, hi, my name is Alyssa, and for today's video, we are going to be taking a little walk down memory lane, and I'm going to be ranking all of the Halloween videos that I have posted here on YouTube. I was given this idea from a family friend whose name is Corey. Shout out to you, Corey, because he does watch my channel and I love the idea. My parents let me know and I was like, you know what, that is so smart because I'm not doing anything crazy for Halloween this year on my channel, and I figured it would be fun to kind of showcase all the looks that I've done thus far and kind of talk about each of them a little bit, kind of what I did to create the looks, some behind the scenes information, what I would do different on some of the looks if I were to recreate them today, and just have a good laugh at some of them, to be honest, because you'll see. But I am so excited. You might want to buckle up, get comfy, because I have 31 videos to chat about, which I kind of love that. Iconic for me to have 31 videos and there are 31 days in the month of October. I set myself up for success with this, so I'm super excited. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and get started. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and start off strong with number 31. We're gonna start off with what I deem is the worst look that I have done in the history of doing Halloween makeup here on YouTube. And it is a look I titled Bleeding Glitter. And this look, the thought was there, okay? The idea was there. The execution, I'm ashamed. And so the problem with this one is that I did the zipper face. It was the first time I had ever done zippers on my face. I was trying to like do something other than just like painting on my face. And y'all, I didn't trim the daggone zipper. I didn't trim the material off the zipper. And so I literally just glued the whole thing to my face. And you know what's even funnier about it? I didn't realize this. I didn't realize this when I filmed it, when I edited it, when I posted it, when I did all the stuff. The time I finally realized that I had left that on there was when I later decided to do another look featuring a zipper. And then I was like, huh, I need to cut this off. And it's at that point I realized I had just left all the material on the zipper. And it makes me so mad looking at it because the eye look that I did in this video, I looked so snatched, girl. The makeup was looking flawless. That purple smoky eye, bitch, I look good. And then even the glitter, like I love the glitter everywhere. I had like left it on my hand. I had done all this stuff. If I would have just cut off the stupid material around the zipper, I'm never gonna let myself forget this. I leave the video up and so I can remember my failure. So that is why this one is number 31 on my list. The next look we're going to talk about is what I titled Glam Butterfly Fairy. And the reason she is so low on this list, because objectively, it's a really pretty look, okay? But it's not giving Halloween in my mind. You know what I'm saying? It's giving like I could have done this in the summer or springtime for just like a fun little look. And like that would have been more of the vibes. So I love the makeup look. Like I really do. I think it looks pretty. I used like a Jaclyn Hill palette for this one, and I just did like a really nice kind of like earthy toned like green and yellow type of look, and it's so pretty, but like it just wasn't giving me like super Halloween. This was though, if I remember correctly, the year of Halloween where everybody was doing things like light little fairies and mermaids and more like mythical type creatures, and you were just going like very glam and very pretty. The only thing I wish I would have done different, which I probably would have liked if I would have added more glitter, more of the gold flakes, like put them in my hair, put them all over my chest. If I would have done more, then I probably would have liked it a little bit more. But like I said, it's a really pretty makeup look. It's just not given, it's not given Halloween, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, so the next one on the list, I titled it Missing Eye. And so I got to a point where every year for Halloween, I was trying to do something that I considered truly like special effects, where I was dealing with blood and cuts and doing stuff like that, because this is the only time of year that I really dabbled in things like that. Now this look I had grand plans for. Again, the makeup girl, my skin is looking flawless. She looks snatched. I love the pink smoky eye I did. I love everything about it. The reason it's so low on my list is because it got too big. So like essentially if it was smaller and truly stayed contained to my eye area, then I would have loved this a lot more. But I have to give myself props because I would use anything that I could find. What I literally used on my eye was the screen that we have in our window. Like we had taken darker screens, and we had like re-screened our own windows, and my dad still had pieces left. And because the screen is black, we literally were like, well, you can use that. So the problem with that though is that it was so thick, it wasn't very easy to maneuver. So I had to use a big enough piece to really get it to stick to the skin all the way around. And so I feel like if I would have gone and gotten like really thin, like tight like material, or like material from like a fabric store or something like that, then I could have done a better job, more of what was initially in my mind. I just had to go big with this one or else it wasn't going to stick. Alrighty, so the next one that we're going to talk about is one from actually last year. It's funny, they're not all super old here in the very bottom part of the list, but this is actually the devil that I did. Now I did this makeup look using like the makeup kits that you get from Walmart, which is why it is so low on the list, because I literally used nothing outside of the makeup kit. I used everything that came with the makeup kit, and therefore like it looks so unblended and messy because the face paint is so that greasy, oily, like cheapo kit stuff that like my makeup looks harsh. Like the black contour and the lines around my face, like it just looks too harsh in a way that I don't like. All right, so following along the Walmart trend, this is also another one I did from last year. Walmart was really trying to play me. But the one that I'm going to be showing you right now, I titled it, I just think like Quick and Easy Mermaid or something like that. And it's not bad, okay? So the products that I used that were from Walmart were the face gems, where like literally they came in a pack and you just pulled them off and stuck them on your face. Everything else I did myself. So like to create the scales, I pulled like fishnet stockings over my face and, you know, padded color all over. The makeup look was good. I liked it that I had the little blue lip to really add to it. The face gems, they just look cheap. You know, that's the point though. If you need something super last minute, I think it looks great. The only thing I think though is that I would rather individually glue on gems than use one of these, because they are stuck together in one sheet. It looks super shiny and you can see the plastic on the skin. That is why this ranks so low. All right, so this next one, oh my goodness, this is a throwback one for sure. So this is what I titled Jack-o'-lantern. Everyone was really into like the pumpkins and everything that year. I remember a lot of people were doing like where they peeled their skin up and like underneath was a pumpkin, and girl, I knew I couldn't do that. But I was like, oh my gosh, I could do this on my face. And so that is what I did. I liked the look for the most part. It wasn't very hard because it was very messy. One of the things I wish I did differently was I made the black bigger. The fact that I just barely did it over my lips, I think draws attention to my lips, that if I would have done the black part of my face bigger, that it would have looked a little bit cooler. But I mean, if you're talking last minute and something that really doesn't take a lot of thought, it was definitely this look. The next one we're gonna be talking about is the Cheshire Cat. If I remember correctly, I believe that this may have been the very first Halloween makeup look I had ever done. I want to say that that is right. So, here we go. The Cheshire Cat, I love this look. Again, with the mouth thing, the thing I would say that would really make this look better for me is if I would have made the teeth bigger. I should have brought the bottom ones up and really brought the top teeth down, even to like some of my bottom lip area, because you really can't see my top lip well because of the teeth, but I feel like it really accentuates my bottom lip even though it's blacked out. So I wish I would have made the teeth a lot bigger. I think that would have been the only thing that I really wanted. Everything else about the look is exactly how I wanted it to look. This was the first time that I had put in contacts for a video as well. I remember I had to go to my Nana's house because my Nana wears like just colored contacts for fun. And I went over there and was like, hey, I'm doing a makeup look. I would like some contacts. And she had some blue ones. And no joke, you guys, I had to have her put the contacts in my eyes for me because I literally couldn't do it. And once I decided I wanted the blue contacts in my eyes, I was literally not leaving until I had the blue contacts in my eyes. So I went over to her house before I filmed and was literally having to lean back in the chair and hold my eye open so she could try and put the contacts in my eyes. Now I am much better at doing it myself, but it's hilarious the way that that started. All right, so this next one I'm gonna talk about, I think you guys are gonna be pretty surprised that it's lower on the list in the grand scheme of things, and that was the Sunflower Scarecrow. So I actually got requested to do this makeup look, I think a couple of times. I typically around Halloween, a couple months before, start trying to pull you guys on like what you wanna see. And someone sent this to me on Instagram and they pulled the picture literally from Pinterest. And I had seen this before, so when they said it, even before I seen the picture, I knew what they were referring to. And they asked if I could do this. And I, you know, since I had been asked multiple times, I was like, you know what? I think I definitely can, and why not give it a try? I do love the look. Girl, I went and thrifted this flannel. I literally turned around my beach hat to make this work. And overall, the look is fairly simple. But the sunflower itself took me a long time to do. This was a painstaking process to get this sunflower on my face. And I can't tell you how many times during drawing this and filling this in, I was like, oh my gosh, this looks like a hot pile of absolute dog doo-doo. Because there are certain leaves on the flower that just like absolutely phenomenal, and there are other ones you're like, what the heck? And a lot of detail goes into this and that you probably can't even tell, and that I can't even really showcase in the video because it's just a painstaking amount of blending and shading and highlighting to make it look as legitimate as possible, not to mention you have to glue down and hide your brow, which in and of itself is a load of work. Okay, so now we're going to be talking about the one I titled Skull with a Punk Twist. And you have got to love the names that I would straight up come up with, like out of left field. You were like, I created this makeup look, what am I going to call it? Because I don't want to just call it a skull, because no, I feel like there's something else edgy about it. First of all, me with pink hair, adorable and cute. Adorable and cute. I look too good. Yes, I'm wearing a hat because yes, I wasn't trying to lay nothing down. And if I lifted that thing up, girl, it was a hot mess under here, but that's my business, and otherwise you don't need to know about it. This makeup look, I liked it. It was pretty good. It was so simple as far as it goes. The only thing I didn't like about the look, to be honest with you, was the inner corner. I wanted to use this product so dang bad, and I can't even remember what it was called. I think it was from Ciate, and it was like a glitter liquid. Girl, that stuff literally was trying to pull my makeup up and look a mess. So my inner corners feel like unblended and a little too much, whereas like as you can see, like in my brow furrows, I have nice little like glitter flakes and stuff. I wish I would have stuck with that, because the rest, like the inner corner is the one thing I absolutely detest about this look. Everything else I love, and it was so easy because I did my makeup pretty normal, and then I just did a blue smoky eye, which I definitely think I could definitely do a ton better now, and then just made like some brow furrows, and then literally made a smile line of blue and then drew some lines over it. It's one of the easiest ways to make a skull. Okay, so this next one, we're sticking with the skull theme. I wanted to keep these two side by side to really showcase the difference in what I was talking about, but I called this one Colorful Skull, the original. You know, she's so good. This was the first time I ever attempted a skull makeup look, and it was either my very first year or my second. I was pretty dang new to doing YouTube. I remember, I want to say this may have been in my first year. And I was like, I want to do something cool. I was kind of inspired by kind of like the Day of the Dead stuff where they do all the headpieces and the colors. And I was like, that would be so, so cool. This was when I was really into colored liner, like using the Jeffree Star liquid lipsticks as liner. That's where that pink eyeliner is popping out from. I literally went to Michael's and I bought a ton of fake flowers. I handmade the flower crown that you see on my head. It took me forever to make. The makeup look, I literally was like, I'm going to use every color I possibly can in this makeup look. My makeup look could have been better. The eyes could have been popping more, but I was like, look at her with her purple eyebrows, period. And then, like I said, this was the first time I did a skull, and I was like, I'm going to go in depth. I am going to do the teeth and do the lines and do the the black spacing. And to be the first time I had ever done a skull, and I don't know, I think maybe all I had was my Makeup Forever Flash palette, but I might not have. I literally could have been using eyeliner here. I can't really remember, but I don't think it looks bad at all. I think I can make it look better. I think I can make the colors look more vibrant because I'm giving very much pastel when I would love to be giving more neon. Okay, so now we're getting into another special effects one. And again, we're literally in the bedroom with my wrinkly white sheet behind me. We love a queen that's just gonna figure it out. And I did what I called neck cut. This is the first special effects makeup look that I did that I was like, I can do this, I can try this. And literally all I used was like toilet tissue paper and liquid latex, and I was like, I'm gonna get this going. I loved doing this. You can't really tell. I don't know how, like, all the pictures, because I'm looking at a specific one now, but if I find some better ones, you can't tell much in the photograph. I think it was harder to photograph this just due to where I decided to place it and what I was doing. But I mean, you get the point, like, because there's blood just literally running down my neck. I loved it. I felt like such a badass when I got it done. You know, I did my nice little makeup look. I had my fun, funky green lipstick on, and I was like, look at me doing my first ever special effects makeup look, and I've got my cut and my blood, and I'm using my liquid latex, and I got this thing rolling. And this is when I was like, you know what, I want to do some sort of this thing every single year. So that is why I put this one up so high, because it is better than some of the other ones I did. I definitely like this one better than the eye one that I already mentioned, because it turned out pretty much exactly like I thought it would in my head. Do I know if I could do any better? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I would try and find better techniques, because I was using some really simple techniques, because that was the whole point. I was like, I'm gonna make this super simple and super easy to do. All right, I don't know if this is my first character one that I mentioned, a true like character that people know, but we are now going to be talking about Jack Skellington. So I was asked to do this by my godbaby Emmy, and she loved Nightmare Before Christmas, loved Jack Skellington, and she wanted to see me do it. And I am literally, I hate that movie. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you right now, I absolutely hate that movie. I watched it. I'll never get those hours of my life back. It was weird. No. But I did the look anyways. I literally had to put on a bald cap, which this was the first time I've ever had to put on a bald cap. And let me tell you, it is a lot to get all the hair that I've got up into a bald cap. And then I was having to paint the bald cap. Now, thankfully in most of the photographs, it doesn't translate, but my paint was not laying well over my bald cap, over the liquid latex and the glue and the things that I had to lay down in order to make this look right. It was tough. The good thing is because I could add shading in these parts, so I don't think it was bad. But so this next one was Little Red Riding Hood. The first time I tried to film it, I literally couldn't get the latex to lay right. I don't know if I was having an off day or doing a weird technique, but I literally went through all the work, because I pretty much have to do almost all of my makeup and then do all the liquid latex and the special effects. So I go all the way through, I have my hair done, all my stuff ready, and then I'm trying to do these little like scratch marks, and I can't get them to lay right there. They don't look even, they don't look like they would actually be scratch marks. Like it was not a good day, and I literally had to quit filming and was just like, this has to be it. And then the day that I was able to actually get it done and get these photographs and like finish it out, this was actually my birthday that year. I actually went out and was taking photographs out in the woods. There was a lady who lives not far from here who let us come on her property and like be in the woods and do it, because I used like smoke bombs and different things like that. I was getting eaten up alive by mosquitoes, and I literally was out taking photographs while people were waiting for me at my house to return for like my birthday party. I had to like come back up in my house and like hop in the shower and clean everything off before I could enjoy my birthday, because I was like, I don't have any time. I have to get this filmed so I can get this edited and out. And so it's crazy sometimes how like something that seems so simple will be the thing that like really takes you the longest. Okay, so this next one is one that's kind of a personal favorite of mine and will probably always remain a personal favorite of mine, truly because it's the only one that I have done on someone else. Now, I have done other Halloween looks on other people, like my friends have come over and I've done like their makeup for trick-or-treating and stuff like that, and I've done makeup like that. But this was the first time I had truly done it on someone else and kind of like a good portion of the body thing, and this was Avatar. And this was my sister's girlfriend at the time, and she was obsessed with Avatar. I'm talking about like all about it, and we literally kind of decided on the spot. She was like talking about it, and she's like, do you think you could like do that? And I was like, you know, I think I could. Like truly, I think I could turn you into an avatar. And she was so in love with Avatar and so in love with the movie and everything like that, that she was so down because she had the headpiece and everything. I went and bought little elf ears and did all this stuff, and then literally sat her down and just painted her. And then we went out and took some pictures actually at our high school at the time, and we were like, you know, we can go out there because there's like wooded area out there, and like it's not physically like in the woods, like we'll still be by the street, but we can catch like almost like you're in the woods. All right, so we were back for my redemption with the zipper from the very first makeup look that we talked about. And this one I so eloquently titled Zipper Face. This one, I liked it. I was like, I just wanted to look like you were pulling back the skin and like whatever was happening underneath was happening underneath. This one was super fun. I felt this one to be like gory, but not in a really uncomfortable way. I remember people really kind of like freaked out when I posted this one, especially like people in my personal life. They were like, holy cow, that's disgusting, that's awesome, which made me feel really good because that's exactly what I wanted. That's the reaction that I was hoping for. Okay, next, this one is one of my personal favorites. I decided to do the Ariana Grande God is a Woman makeup look. This was, I think, the year after James Charles blew up from doing it. Like everyone loved that he recreated it, and I am a huge Ariana Grande fan. I loved the God is a Woman music video when it came out. I loved the look of this, and I was like, you know what, I want to give that a try. I ordered myself the long ponytail, and I was like, this is going to be great. And I again recruited my sister for filming and shooting purposes, and then I actually went all the way out to my grandmother's house and used her big garden tub and did like a milk bath. So all the extra scenes in that is literally me like getting dressed and then going and sitting in a milk bath for all this other stuff. Like, girl, the time and effort and energy I'm willing to put into something is hilarious to me. So literally I do all the filming at my house and then I go shoot somewhere else. The reason this one isn't super high on the list because I think I executed this look. I loved it. I loved it. I remember filming it and being so excited. I can't tell you how many times I had to listen to God is a Woman that day. I loved the makeup look. Girl, I really did that with that. I snatched and went off. You know how sometimes you'll do makeup and you're like, it could be better. Nah, everything about the way that I did this, chef's kiss in my personal opinion. I knocked it out of the park. All right, next up is Medusa, and Medusa was one that I was also requested to do. I really did like it. I loved the contacts, even though those sons of guns kept flipping in my eye. So like one of my eyes would be up and one of my eyes would be sideways. It was a mess. I don't know what those things were doing. They were the only contacts that I've had that have ever decided they were just gonna like roll around and do what they wanted. So like a lot of the tutorial is me moving my eyeball. You're like, why is your eyeball a little crookulated? That's why, because they were acting a fool. I liked this look. I think this look could have been better. The face paint I used started trying to get a little splotchy on me, which I think kind of really killed the illusion and the vibe. And I won't lie, by the time I had painted my entire face and chest, I started getting lazy and was like, I don't want to run down my arms, but I feel like I need to run down my arms. And because of the way I sit and the way I move, I felt like I had to paint a lot more than I really wanted to. And the product I was using to paint was just, it was taking too long. And so that's the reason that this one isn't higher. I had high hopes for this one, but I think it could be executed much better. I also think that if I ever did it again, I would rather do it as more of like a glam look and not paint my skin Up next is one I so lovingly titled Shut Your Mouth. I absolutely loved this one. This one was a special effects one where I did like my mouth being busted open, and I don't think it comes across as well in some of my photographs as I would like, but then I threaded twine to them like you would try to like sew my flappy crusty duck lips closed. It was so much fun to do. I loved the fact that it was all over the mouth. First of all, me in a blonde wig, again, it had me questioning things. I was like, should I? No, I shouldn't. Again, makeup look on point. Skin and eye look flawless, stunning. You weren't gonna tell me otherwise. And again, I really just liked the messiness of the look. There was something about just like having blood dripping and gore all over that like half of my face that I was like, I'm living for this. All right, this should be, I think if I've calculated correctly, lucky number 13, because I think I'm going down, so I think I'm lucky number 13 on this one, are my set of what I call my last minute looks from last year. I loved these. I thought these were so cute. They turned out better than I could have imagined. And so I did 4 looks in one video. I did a cat, which I absolutely loved. I found like cute little wolf ears on Amazon, and I had had these for forever, and it was the perfect time for me to use them. And so I loved a good little cat look. They're so easy to create, and every year there's gonna be a sexy little cat walking around somewhere, and here she was. I also did kind of like some sort of like punk clown looking thing. I love a good clown look too because they're so easy, because literally all you have to do is put your makeup in a point and boom, that's it. And again, me as a blonde, we love her, okay? That blonde wig gets me through a lot of Halloween tutorials, okay? She was stunning, and I really did feel like a baddie with that look. Then the deer, she was adorable. I see so many girls doing like little deer, like hunters and deers, which is not my thing because obviously it's just me out here. But I thought the deer was such a cute little look. The little headpiece was adorable. It was such a nice little investment piece for me to have. And again, this wasn't too hard to do. The most difficult thing you have to do is like really get your makeup how you want it, to be honest, because then you place everything else. And then truly my favorite look from this bunch was the Chad. And for those of you who don't get it, and I'm pretty sure I put in there, but Chad just pretty much correlates to any F-boy we all know. But I can't write that and talk about that on YouTube, so I had to call him a Chad. This was iconic, okay? Iconic. Literally, you can't tell me nothing. This was hilarious. I love that one the most. He really looks like someone you really just want to punch in the face. Okay, so this next one is my Walmart skull, which is hilarious because it's also giving clown vibes. I don't know what I was doing. I can't remember what the whole vibe was, but I'm calling it Walmart skull now. I didn't triple check the name of the video, but I think that's what I called it. But I was using stencils from, I believe it was Wet n Wild that I got at Walmart. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna try and create a vibe. And it literally is, maybe it's a skull clown skull, however you want to put it. And I thought it turned out so good. They were a little hard to figure out, the stencil things, but for being from Walmart, these turned out pretty sick. Like, I really liked the way it looked. Again, it really came down to the fact that I just had to do a makeup look that I was comfortable with, so you could of course do anything you wanted. And then literally, while it's not perfect, it looks so cool. I love the fact that like all the shapes for the most part are pretty symmetrical, which is almost impossible to do. Okay, I could never in a million years have freehanded this. Next is an older one of mine. It was called Beetlejuice Babe. I really like this. I remember that I actually was this twice that year. I did it for YouTube, and then I also dressed up and went to work like this. Like, they were like, you can dress up for Halloween. And here's the kicker, you guys. I'm gonna go off on a little tangent real quick. They were doing a Halloween contest at work. Okay, at this point in time, I was working part-time. And they literally, I was scheduled for 1 o'clock in the afternoon, like I was a closing shift, so I was like 1 to 7, okay? And so I got up that morning. I'm talking about I got up and like did this. I wore like the top and everything, but I didn't wear the pants. Like I wore my normal work black pants for safety reasons. But like I literally got up and I put on a nice, like I put on the tank top, because in the photographs you'll see like I'm only wearing a bra, which of course I put on more of a shirt. But I literally did this whole makeup look again and went to work, and they decided that they wouldn't wait until like around the 1 o'clock area or like closer to that, so everyone who would be working that day could be in it. And therefore I didn't get to enter the contest, because let me tell you right here right now, I saw everyone else's outfits, didn't hold a candle to mine. Okay, I put in the most effort, the most time, and looked the coolest, and was told so. But yet I didn't win no prize, and there was money involved. Okay, so I'm still pissed about it. I'm just saying, I'm not a happy camper. They really did me dirty because I looked so cool. On top of that, that night I ended up having to go deliver a car. So I literally had to work. I didn't get to see no trick-or-treaters because I had to be out driving for my job, delivering a car to a customer, and I had to scare people as we were out delivering. I was like, please tell these people that I'm gonna be like coming up to their house dressed up, because y'all told me I could and I didn't win no prize. But I love this. I think the makeup look turned out super cool. I wish I would have sprayed my hair more, but at the same time I'm not mad about it. But like I made like little moss patches on my face. It was super easy to do as well. This was not a hard makeup look. Like the most you had to do was worry about blending and really getting the layers of everything, but like the look was easy overall. So I really enjoyed this, and I enjoyed it so much, like I said, I did it twice that year, so that's got to tell you something. All right, we are on the home stretch now. I know this has been a long video. We are in the top 10, and so I am super excited to run through these. So the number 10 on the list is Shigo. I really enjoyed this. So first of all, I freaking loved Kim Possible growing up, and I would have done Kim Possible. Let me tell you right now, which you're not going to catch me in. No low-rise jeans with my gut hanging out. I'm sorry. So I was like, let me do Shigo. I've got the dark hair anyways. I don't have to buy another wig. This is easy. They kind of give the same vibes, and Shigo is going to take more like work for me to do, because I was like, I'm not buying a costume, because I thought about it. I looked into it, but they were expensive. I was like, I can paint this on my body. Again, my only thing about it is I could have done better on the paint work. That green that I wanted to use, it actually was the same green that I used for Medusa. You thought I would have learned my lesson beforehand, but she wanted me trying to play me a little patchy, but literally I looked at a picture of Shigo and drew this stuff on my body and painted it. Like, again, I wish I would have done a little bit better, but overall, I think it looks really good. I loved the eyebrow. I love the anime character. And then animated character. I just like the vibes, and it was fun because I used sound bits and stuff, if I remember correctly, in the video. So it was just fun to kind of play a character from a show that I really enjoyed growing up. So I really liked Shigo, which is why she's so high. Okay, so for number 9, we have Frostbitten Elsa. And so this is where it really, of course, starts becoming more of my favorite, because you guys know I love Disney. I'm all about it. And so when the Disney ones came about, like when I was like, I'm gonna do Disney princesses, I'm like, I'm going to do like the pretty princess like in her natural form, and then I'm going to do kind of like her demise. That's what kind of my thought process. And this is obviously not a new thought. Many people have done these looks, but as much as I love Disney, I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be so fun. And my god babies love Disney too, so it was super cute because they were super excited to see me dress up as some of their favorite princesses, especially Elsa. She was a real winner. So I'm not really worried about like actual Elsa, although she was very pretty, and again, me as a blonde is a mood. But the frostbitten part was super fun to do. Again, it got to allow me to kind of dabble into some special effects, so like making the frostbite and everything like that. And then of course like figuring out how to make it look like I had like ice on me. So I actually used rock candies that I went and bought and put on my face and my lashes. It was just super fun to do. It again wasn't super hard. It did take a little bit of time, especially to let like the rock candies glue, because they couldn't be too heavy, because you would try and like stick one on and it would just kind of like plop off. So it was super funny, but I really enjoyed this. Like this was super fun to make. Okay, so number 8 is actually truly a surprise to me that I have it so high on this list, but it is the one where I did the spiders on my face. This was one that I had seen like all over Pinterest, and everybody was super into trying to do this, and I hate spiders. Absolutely detest them. So the fact that I was willing to draw them on my face, I don't even know what I was thinking. I love this. The one I didn't love the most was the one coming out of my mouth. I don't know what was up. Maybe it's just the way I was posing. Maybe it's just the way my mouth is shaped, but I didn't love that one. The reason this one's high is because of the one on my eye. I think this turned out so cool. Like, it says something when you have to do the kind of shading it takes to do this. It's not hard, but like when you're doing it, it's almost like my brain was in overdrive trying to be like, where do I place the lines? Where do I make sure the shading is so it looks natural and like it could actually be there and look truly like this is a spider sitting 3D on my face. Okay, number 7. This is one that I am super proud of, and it is Cruella. Now this one, you guys, this was so fun to do. I had the best time filming this, creating the makeup look, getting all the little costume bits and pieces to really pull her together. I was heavily inspired by Jaclyn Hill's version of Cruella. This looks nowhere near that good. Jaclyn Hill absolutely nailed it when she did Cruella all those years ago. But I remember like one day I was just like randomly watching videos, like older videos, and hers popped up and I was like, oh my god, I want to do Cruella. You guys, again, know I love Disney, and I just like, I want to do a fun take on it. And we love a villain, okay? And the only thing I would do differently, and I did do this differently because I did dress up as Cruella for Halloween last year to pass out candy to the kids in my neighborhood, is that from the photographs that you're seeing is I would pull her eye makeup up higher, because obviously you lay down your brow and you make a bigger, thinner brow. Out of habit, I kept my makeup kind of natural on my actual lid, which then makes the rest of my face look a little bit funny. And so when I recreated the look for Halloween, where I was Cruella and my parents were Pongo and Purdy, I pulled the makeup up higher, which I liked a lot more, and I think it made it look more realistic. I don't think you notice. I think it's something that I noticed, like without me telling you. I don't think you would pinpoint that out, but for me it's something that over time, as I was like, oh, this is what I should have done, it would have pushed it over the edge a little bit more. All right, number 6, again, we love a Disney villain. It's Maleficent. This one, you guys, she was so fun to do. The only thing I wish I would have really done differently with her was like committed to more of a costume and like really got pictures like out in the woods with this one. I think it would have been insane. Although I'm not going to lie to you, I don't know that I could have done it, or the pictures would have been very, I would have only been able to turn a certain way, because what you can't see in the photographs is the fact that I had that headpiece clipped in the back with like the big paper clip things, because the headpiece was so big. In order to get it to sit and stay securely, it's literally pulled behind my head and like clipped together. So like I couldn't have taken pictures and really turned my head too much. Like I was limited on what I could do here. But the makeup is sickening. The contacts were everything. I remember searching high and low to find those contacts. I needed the perfect pair. The makeup was really just about making my face look as snatched and possible, and I think I did just that. Like cheekbones were popping, brows may have never looked better. All right, number 5 is the Joker. Now this one is one that I did last year. This is the one that was what I consider the big one that I committed to last year, where I was like, I'm gonna really get a full costume, I'm gonna go on, you know, a location, and I'm really gonna shoot, and I'm gonna do all this stuff. This one was so time consuming because I debated back and forth for weeks on how I was gonna portray the Joker, what version of the Joker I was gonna be, how I was gonna pull the makeup, if it was gonna be more just the makeup, if I was really gonna go all out, you know, and do all this stuff on the face. I was probably up at like 3 o'clock in the morning to do this, which was terrible because, you know, I'm like taking my day off to get this done, but like it was worth it. I really like the look. The only things that I wish I would have done different is I think I could have definitely done the mouth a little bit better. I wish I would have made it more just like bigger and, you know, more in your face. And then I didn't have as much B-roll footage of just the makeup in my home that I wanted, because obviously when I got downtown and was shooting there, it was more about shooting the action shots and the dancing and all the stuff that you saw in the smoking scenes, which I mean, this goes to how committed I am. I do not smoke. I literally went and bought cigarettes literally just for this, for photos, and then gave them away as I was leaving because I was like, I don't need these. But so there's a couple things I wish I would have done different, but overall I was really happy with it. I think it turned out good. All right, number 4 is a favorite of mine. It is Violet Beauregarde. Now this one is an older one of mine. It's one I decided to do kind of early on. This is one that, again, when I did it, I was actually at twice that year. I did it for YouTube and then I dressed up and I did it for work. And it was super fun to get to do this costume again. This was one that is just so easy to do that it was super fun to do because it didn't take a ton of thought. I have a ton of views on this on YouTube. I think it's like 35,000 views or something, could be more, I have no idea. I think that also helps that it's a very, very short video. So it does well. I get consistent views on it, and every Halloween it gains more views. So I love that. I love that people love it. And it was just super cute to do. Again, it was not a hard look to create. It's one that I definitely think is perfect if you're kind of looking for something last minute, and you could definitely change it up based on the clothes you choose to wear. But I had such a fun time doing this. I thought it was super cute. And again, I liked it enough to wear it again. So she was just a favorite of mine. It was fun to kind of, anytime I got to kind of get into a character and like do sound bits and kind of talk and play around, made it extra fun. And plus I got to play with bubblegum, which I love blowing me some bubbles. So I think it was a good time. Okay, gang, we're in the top 3 now. We're at the finish line here. So number 3, third on the list, is the Poisoned Snow White. She, again, was one from last year, and this was so fun. After I had done the Frostbitten ELSA the year before, I was like, I want to do another Disney princess. And I was like, I can't tell you how many times I had been Snow White at some point for Halloween because I had dark hair. I was like, it was an easy princess for me to be. And so I was like, this is gonna be perfect. I ended up finding a super cheap Snow White costume on Amazon, which was absolutely great. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's gonna be super cool to kind of make her poison and look sick. And I just think it turned out so good. First of all, I love the plain Snow White as is. Like, the makeup look turned out really pretty, and I was like, oh, this could be super easy for me to do in general. And then the poison version. I loved that I was able to get my skin such a sickly, funky looking green. The contacts were insane. I think they made the look, they were super great. Okay, number 2 is Dr. Frankenfurter. This one is one that I absolutely adored doing. I got requested for this like 2 years in a row from an old coworker of mine. And like the first time I already had everything planned out, and then the second time I was like, oh, I'm just not sure. To be 100% honest with you, I've never watched the movie. I've never seen anything like that. But when she asked for it the next time, I was like, I have to do this. She's like requesting it again, and it looks like it could be something fun. So I actually did a ton of research on this character. I watched a ton of best clips. Again, I still have yet to watch the movie. I have literally no clue. But I was like, I'm gonna like look up all these best clips of him. And I spent so much time literally like standing in front of the mirror and like mimicking and trying to get my postures right, and like literally memorize the script so that I could follow along with it. Because I was like, if I'm gonna do this, it has to have voice clips in it. I have to do the bit. It's gotta really be good, especially for like Instagram and stuff. I was like, I have to do it. It's gonna be sick. I'm so proud of myself for this one because I hand drew the tattoo on my arm, and that was actually very difficult because I am right-handed and it was on the right arm. So I literally had to draw it with my left hand. I was drawing it backwards in the mirror. And I think it looks so cool. Like, and it's the things like that where I want to like put the work in the details and really pull it together. Maybe no one noticed it, but I noticed it, and I think it really brought the look together because it was something that you could see when I was doing all the footage. And now, last but not least, my favorite Halloween makeup look, my number 1 in my book. And at this point, a lot of you guys have probably already guessed what it is, but it is the Mad Hatter. This look was phenomenal for me. I don't know that there's going to be a look that I do that will top this. I hope that there will be one in the future, but every one that I've talked about, every one that I've done, because at this point the Mad Hatter is a couple years old. but it is one that it just ended up being executed so perfect. As I was filming this, you know, again, everything except for the Red Riding Hood that I mentioned was filmed. It's a one and done. I get up, I sit down, I wing it, and then that's kind of it. And this is one of the ones where I was like, oh my gosh, this worked out more perfect than I could even imagine. This is another one. This is the first year that I ever got up at the ass crack of dawn to film. I think I was up at like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning again for this one because I knew I needed to film as the sun was coming up. So I got up that morning, I did my makeup in here, I did a ton of B-roll footage in the room, and then my sister, again, I had coerced her into helping me film and take photographs, and I drove out to my grandma's, and my grandma lives like half an hour away from me, so I'm literally, I'm committing when I say I go to my grandma. She's not just right up the street. And I set up a tea table. I went and thrifted all the pots and like the teacups and stuff that you saw. I went and spent a good ton of money on them. I'm pretty sure I still have them in case I ever decide to do something like this again. But I went and spent a ton of money at a thrift store on all these like dishes and trinkets, and literally went and, like, my grandma had all these fake flowers. I set up this tea party out in the middle of the woods, for real, because my grandma has a lot of land. So I went out there and, you know, like, just shout out to the people that helped me along the way. You know, my mom and dad, my grandma, my sister when she was helping me. Like, it was just, like, it really did take a lot of people for me to get this stuff done. And so, you know, we played music, we hung out, and it was just, this was one of the fun ones. This is one of those ones where, like, all of a sudden when we got into a good groove of getting that B-roll and these photographs that you obviously now know, it was just firing off. Like, it was so fun. This was such a fun and silly character to play. That is it, you guys. I know it has been a long video. Thank you for sticking around. You a real one if you still here. But yeah, it was fun to kind of chat about all the videos I've done, see my journey again from kind of start to finish. That's the funny thing about it, is some of the stuff, you know, that I did 4 and 5 years ago at this point, I'm like, oh my gosh, I hardly even remember that. And I know some of you guys are just seeing it for the first time today. So I thank you so much for watching. I would love to know your thoughts and opinions down below. What was your favorite or least favorite look that I've done? And yeah, thank you guys so much for being here. I know I'm not doing a ton of Halloween stuff. I'm not doing anything like that this year. But thank you for allowing me to do a little bit of different content this year and just kind of take a break, because those do take a lot of time and money for me to create. And so I'm having fun, kind of just taking it chill this year. I will be back next year doing Halloween videos, and I will be sure to let you guys know when I start planning so I can get your ideas and suggestions. But thank you again for being here. I really appreciate all the love on every look, every video that I've ever put up. You guys are amazing. And yeah, I hope you guys have a very happy and safe Halloween season, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.